Can you kind of explain a little bit of the impact of why yoga is good for our hormones?
Yeah, absolutely. So all the systems in your body benefit from yoga. So you're starting off with the physical process, obviously, as other exercise forms are incredibly good for. The consistent breathing that we do in yoga really primes the nervous system to slow down and have that parasympathetic response that then triggers a whole lot of hormonal things that you would know really well into your body. And but for me, it's really the environment of yoga. It's this space that we hold for ourselves is not confronting. We choose not to be in conflict with ourselves for a period of time. And so that feeling of sometimes that you always need to be doing something or reactive, etc., or maybe moving into this reactive state isn't necessary anymore. And it's just got this incredible effect on the hormones through your body. Like there's some couple of postures that we can do that are really beneficial, especially for alleviating some of the pressures that modern living put on our body. So should we go through a couple of that? So one of the first ones is, so lay down onto your belly. You need to do more yoga already.
Awesome, I love it.
Right, and then,
More food later.
and then press up into a sphinx pose. Come up onto your forearms. Cool. And so this position over here is really beneficial. So what's happening is move your arms a little bit further forward. Cool, and draw your shoulders back. So what's happening here is the hips are moving into an extended position along with the spine. Now, because of modern living, what we do is put a rounding through our back a lot. And so we end up with what we call the sort of hyper rounding of the upper back, etc., and a lot of the neck issues, etc. So this posture just held for a little while, closing your eyes down and breathing. You can do it in a relatively passive way, maybe engage in the body subtly. So I'd say this would be the first posture, just to sit in that for a little while. As you can see, very simple, just with the arms on the ground.
And how long do I need to sit in this for?
Yeah, good question. So I would say somewhere between 10 to 20 breaths. Yeah. And when we're talking breaths, what we do is we inhale over about 4 counts. That's inhaling for 2, 3, 4, and exhaling for 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so about 10 to 20 breaths like that is really, really beneficial. Now, not only are you getting the physical benefits of the posture, but the breath is also working with your nervous system into this calming state. Cool. Now come all the way down onto your belly. Okay, take your left elbow to a 90-degree angle out to one side.
I had to work up which is my right leg. I think it's dyslexia.
And then roll the right side of your body up and over. And just relax your cheek onto the ground. Cool. You can bring your hand a little bit closer to your chest. Like that, and just roll that shoulder up. And so the muscle that Zoe's stretching into here is the pectoral muscle that connects from your sternum into your arm bone and your collarbone. There's 2 pec muscles. That muscle gets exceptionally tight for the obvious reasons that we're leaning into devices and we're hunching forward and we're tilting our head forward. This posture is exceptional for that. We actually commonly refer to this muscle as the mouse muscle.
Oh, yes.
Because you're always playing with your mouse forward and it's stimulating that muscle there. So this is a fantastic one. Maybe a bit of less amount of time, so 5 long breaths could be enough, and then change to the other side.
That feels so good.
So good, yeah. Like I was talking about before, like doing one chest stretch and one sphinx pose is probably not going to be the solution. But doing this 5 to 6 times a week over a month or 2, yeah, I mean, and it's, you know, it's like anything. There's no quick fix in this world.
Unfortunately, so.
Unfortunately, social media might try to tell us that it's not true. So yeah, so coming back to center. So those are 2 just very, very simple postures, just to address that simple rounding.
I always find, I've only just been able to do this recently.
Yeah, right. Okay.
So I've always had to sit on a block. Why is that?
Yeah, it's just we're not so familiar with coming into deep squats in our modern living. But if you think about years and years back before the invention of chairs, this was the human being's resting position. So we'd sit around a fire, make food, have discussions, and this would be, and you see in countries like India and stuff, you see people just sitting like this naturally. It's actually a really comfortable position. But what's happening here, Zoe's lower back over here, this thoracolumbar fascia, there's like a big bed of fascial tissue that's starting to get a really healthy stress in there. And just that release of it then has an impact on what's called your sacroiliac joint, the SIJ joint. And a lot of you might have experienced a little bit of pain in that lower back area. So this one done up against the wall, as Zoe said before, just placing a couple of blocks. If you don't have blocks, like some cushions, pillows, or books, or anything like that, just so you can get your hips up a little bit higher so it's comfortable. This is a wonderful posture. You can do it like Zoe's doing it here, very yogically with her hands to heart.
I was thinking about it to hold me in place.
Or you could just take your hands down and she drops your head down.
Never done that before.
Yeah. And that's kind of nice to get a release on the neck as well. Yeah. And so these postures that feel a little bit uncomfortable, as Zoe alluded to earlier, it's the discomforts within yoga where all the magic happens really, and it's we can't avoid that. and this is something with contending with the discomfort, but then the alleviation of that afterwards is where the freedom comes from on every level, whether that's physically, mentally, emotionally, or spiritually. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. It's just really, really good.
So good, so good.
Yeah,
Yeah, the thing with yoga when it does well is that there's fascial tissue, this sort of sinewy tissue that surrounds muscles, that wraps around your whole body. A lot of the research they're doing is understanding fascial theory.
yes.
Yeah, and so yin yoga is particularly a good style of yoga to do as well, to address fascial release alongside the vigorous form of yoga.
Oh, I love this. You're like sitting for a while.
No,
Like this.
so good. Yeah.
So there are 3 things that people can actually do at home. Show me a little bit about something that you've done that we can really work up to.
Yeah, okay.
Show me the magic.
So I'll just go through a simple posture. It's kind of a peak posture. It's called Bakasana, crow pose. And so this is one of the ones where you see people doing like in class, people in youth class, they always want to get up into crow. So with crow pose, we start with the hands flat, shoulder width distance. And the good thing about yoga is it develops this really strong connection, so you can hold a posture for a long time. Isometric hold. What should I do? So, okay, let's go into crow. So the knees are hugging in. I'll just come out into this one. Probably don't try this at home straight away. You come out to that posture over there. And then what we can do is go from crow, and there's a fun little transition where you go back to a low plank, where you draw the knees in, and then float back.
Oh, yeah.
That's
That's
awesome.
awesome.
It's called upward facing dog. And then into downward facing dog. Yeah, so probably chatting to a teacher and going to a few classes to develop the controls to be able to do that. But you know, this is the wonderful thing about yoga is this: you have better control in the way that you hold your body and you move. You felt that feeling, right? You're walking down the street, your clothes feel different on your skin, and
I know for me personally, you know, I've had anxiety, I've had depression. I really felt like I've needed a tool that wasn't just about, and I love meditating. But this, exactly like you said, is a great way to explain it. The physicality has transcended into my normal way of being. And I know that sounds a little bit esoteric, but I'm very conscious and unconscious of how I hold myself right now. So how I bend down to get things. And I think particularly as someone in that more sort of perimenopause and menopause, it is so critical that we actually know how to move our body correctly to reduce the inflammation that's already pumping pretty hard in my body and support it. Marty, this is brilliant. It's so practical. It's so simple. How can we find you? Where can these people learn from you?
You can jump on my Instagram, so it's Marty-Pullin Yoga. You can catch me at Number Studios. The studio that we're in at the moment is called Sarana. It's in Bondi. And I've got a few other studios around. I've got trainings that are coming up in May, teacher trainings, things like that. So yeah, keep an eye on it.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much. I always love chatting with you. Enjoy everyone.
Thank you.